I don't need to introduce you. Everyone knows who you are. We love you. We admire you. We pray for you. In fact, I'll just say this before you talk. When you first came to prominence after that prayer breakfast, and a lot more people began to know who you were, people would come up to me and my wife, and they would say, "Oh, this is Dr. Ben Carson. Have you heard about him?" And we would say, "Well, we have known about him for 25 years. He's not new to us." He may be new to you, but not new to us. So Dr. Carson, the floor is yours.
Well, it's been quite a momentous week. A week ago today, America was shocked. I was not shocked. I've been saying all along that this was going to happen because I've been traveling all over the country. And the state chairman in so many states were saying, we're seeing people we've never seen before. People coming in to vote who haven't voted in 20 years or in their entire lives. And the reason that people were so motivated is because they were not fooled by the media. And they recognized that this was not really about Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton or even about Democrats and Republicans. This is about America and what kind of nation we're going to have. Are we going to have a European-style nation where the government is control of everything from cradle to grave? Or are we truly going to have a nation that is of, for, and by the people? That's what it was about. And that's what Thomas Jefferson said would happen. He said we would reach this point because we would be less than vigilant. And when you do that, the government naturally grows and it begins to dominate. He said, but before we turn into something else, the wise people of America would recognize what they were about to lose, and they would step up to the plate. And that's exactly what happened. If people put all kinds of different spins on it, but that's what just happened in our country. And, what does it mean for America? It means that, we have a fresh beginning. And we can once again look at the things that made us into a great nation. We had an environment that encouraged entrepreneurial risk-taking and capital investment. We have just the opposite now. And they say it's the new normal. It's not normal. It's what happens when you allow the government to get into every aspect of your life. And, we can recreate that quite easily by getting rid of the unnecessary regulations. And I stress the word unnecessary because some of them are necessary. And, revamping the tax structure. We have the highest taxes in the world. That doesn't make any sense. We used to say, well, at least we're not a socialist country with these very high taxes. Now we have the high taxes, and we don't have all the services. It's just gross incompetence, inefficiency, corruption, and stupidity, all of which is going to go away. I think, Trump will be a very different type of president because he's a businessman. A couple of weeks ago when he opened his hotel in Washington, D.C., Hillary was criticizing him, and some of the Democrats were criticizing him. It came in ahead of schedule and under budget. They don't know what those words mean. That's why they were criticizing him. They should have been rejoicing. And, that's the kind of thing that we have to start seeing happen all around America. The $2.1+ trillion residing overseas because of our high corporate tax rate. We can easily repatriate that with alleviation of the tax burden, with the stipulation that 10% has to be used for enterprise zones, infrastructure, and for jobs for people who are unemployed, underemployed, or on welfare. You want to talk about a stimulus package. That would be the biggest stimulus since FDR's New Deal. It wouldn't cost the taxpayers one penny. That's the kind of thinking that we need. And, utilizing our energy, all this silly global warming stuff, first of all, the last 8 months we've had record cooling of the Earth. The Earth gets warm and it gets cold. It's been that way forever. But doesn't mean that we're not interested in the environment. We're very interested in the environment, but we need to take care of the environment in a logical way, not use it as an excuse to impose all kinds of regulations and to restrict people's way of living. We can do the adequate research, and we've done it in terms of clean coal technology and fracking that gets ever safer. And that can actually give us enough money to do the kind of research that we need to do on alternative fuels. So, we have to be wise in the way that we do things and not just reactionary and ideological, because that leads us to a place where we're not going to make any progress. Now, the country is deeply divided right now because we've allowed the purveyors of division to hold sway and drive wedges wherever they can find a tiny crack, be it gender, race, income, religion, age, whatever. And they know that a house divided against itself cannot stand. Jesus said that, and it was echoed by Abraham Lincoln, and it's absolutely true. And, the forces that want to fundamentally change our nation understand that they have first got to create a sense of deep dissatisfaction. And that's why all the divisiveness that is going on. We, the people, have to be smart enough to recognize that that is not the solution. Getting in our respective corners, hurling insults at each other, trying to make life difficult for each other, there is no way, if you think about it logically, that that is helpful or that that's going to solve our problems. So we have got to start using that brain that God gave us. And if we do that and we're compassionate and we're fair, then the rest of it will take care of itself.
All right, Dr. Carson, we're going to go right to the phone calls. You let me know, by the way, when you're running